Hello and welcome to TSG Foundation's Wisdom of the Zodiac. Today's lesson and meditation will be taken from Volume 3 of Wisdom of the Zodiac by Torkom Saraydarian. The chapter is Chapter 40, titled Sagittarius, Awakening the Core. Let's begin by reading that first paragraph on page 441. This Earth is a living entity. Stars are lives, solar systems are great entities, galaxies are greater entities. They have souls, they have minds, they have personalities. They have a plan and a purpose as well as progressive development. The stars, solar systems, and galaxies are on the path of perfection, just as we are on that path. As the human being has an aura that radiates colors and vibrations, stars and constellations are surrounded by a tremendous whirlpool of energies. Okay, so there's a lot in this first paragraph, and here are some keynotes. That all of life, the earth, stars, galaxies, everything is a living being, just as we are. And all these living beings have souls, they have minds, they have personalities. They have a plan and a purpose, as do we. So this is important, as well as progressive development. That means we are progressively developing in the context of the greater progressive development. The stars, solar systems, and galaxies are also on the same path of development. And human beings have an aura, and so do all great beings in the life. They have colors, vibrations, and they are surrounded by whirlpools of energy. So we are seeing ourselves in the context of energy, radiation. We have a plan and a purpose. We have a core within us. We have our physical, emotional, mental bodies, and so do all the bodies in the universe. They are personalities, they have minds, they have souls, and so on. So this is really important. It is tying us as living beings in the greater context of the whole. And as such, we move through the plan and the purpose of our life through a definite direction to expand our consciousness and relate with the greater life around us. So let's go to the bottom of that page. The prime direction of this constellation of Sagittarius, this is where we are focusing today, is to create striving in atoms, in the plant and animal kingdoms, in the human kingdom, in space, in solar systems, and in galaxies. So the Sagittarius constellation develops striving in every living being. And since all of existence is alive, that means there is that sense of striving in everything. So when you are looking at this month's meditation on full moon, think of that keynote of striving. See how you can understand that idea of striving with a plan and a purpose in your life. You're not just running from one side of the world to another. You are striving toward a path, toward an expansion. Okay, so you have a plan, you have a purpose. The energy coming from this constellation creates striving. Okay, so you're going to understand, what does striving mean to me? Here's a brief definition. Striving is the process of the awakening of the core that is sleeping in any form. Okay? During the full moon period of Sagittarius, if you tune yourself in with this great constellation, you will feel that something in you is pressing you to go forward and surpass yourself. This is the meaning of striving. So during this month, you are going to discover for yourself, what does striving mean? Here it is defined as awakening of the core. What is the core? The core is you, the human soul, that is infinite, that is everlasting. And whatever the quality of your everlasting inner core is, that is what is going to survive life after life, millennium after millennium. It is that core inside of you that is awakening and taking over your life and the decisions that you make and the way you live. Isn't that beautiful to think that we are no longer just pleased with our personality life, but that the soul in us, the spirit in us, the core in us is going to determine the direction of our life. That's beautiful. And if we think of that same ideal in humanity and in all life forms, what a beautiful healing process that would be. So we can say the souls of men are one, and we are one with them. How beautiful it is to say that at this time, whenever there is a crisis in the world, whenever there are problems that we can't solve with other people in our communications and our dealings with them, or our understandings of them, we can say, the souls are one, and I am one with them, so that it is our soul, collective soul, our core that is being awakened at this time. And see what that means to you and where that striving is going to take you. Sometimes striving is sensed better when you have difficult conditions in your life. So we should not bemoan difficult conditions. Difficult conditions, when they are faced, will help us learn how to solve problems and how to relate with ourselves and with people around us in a constructive way. So striving and what it means is sensed when you have a problem. Do I have a problem in my physical health, in my emotional health, in my mental health? And when you see and identify that problem, you will see exactly what the solution is and what steps you need to take. Now go to the bottom part of page 442. Sagittarius forces us to think about the future. See, the future is every minute coming. Every next minute is the future. And Sagittarius at this time of the year forces us to think about what is going to happen to me tomorrow? What am I going to do the next year? And so on. How can I get more meaning in my life, more peace and more joy in my life? This is the time that you can take that energy and work on those questions that you have. So it makes us and forces us to think about the future, about the coming experiences that we are going to have even on the next plane of consciousness or the next life even. So you see, the way you define future is the next hour, tomorrow, next year, or even 10 years from now, next lifetime, because it is coming up whether we are prepared for it or not, whether we recognize it or not, whether we define it or not. The future is every minute rolling toward us. So we have to be really, really conscious of that. We are told that at the full moon of Sagittarius, disciples can take the first and second initiations, and I'll define what those mean, under the supervision of their masters. An initiation, listen to this definition, because there are a lot of definitions for initiation, but the way Torkom defines it and the Ageless Wisdom defines it is a little bit different. It's not something somebody gives you. It is something that you do. You do. You strive. And when you strive and you overcome and you change yourself, this is what happens. You are initiated. It is an expansion of consciousness. Your consciousness expands. That means you will understand a larger context of the issues around you, of your needs, your plans, and your purpose, your goal in life, and you are going to have a deeper understanding of your feelings, of your thoughts, and collectively the actions, feelings, and thoughts of other people as well. This is an expanded consciousness. For example, let's go to page 443 top. Suddenly, you see that the things you gave so much value to in life are evaporating. And that should be happening. And sometimes we grieve when the things that we valued yesterday or 10 years ago are no longer valuable. Think back 10, 20 years ago. What are the things that still hold the same value? And what are the things that no longer have any value? It will be very interesting for us to have that conversation with ourselves as we are aging, as we are growing, and we are expanding in consciousness. You are no longer a child playing with your teddy bears. You look at your toys and say, my goodness, how many hours and days was I giving to these toys? Now there is something else I am looking for. And interestingly, we'll pick up other toys, won't we? And toy after toy after toy. And then suddenly we'll say, I no longer need toys. I need something different. And that is part of the striving that is so important. And somebody can't tell you what that is. Nobody can tell you what your toy is, what you need to give up, what you need to take on. It's only you, through your striving, through your efforts that you make to look at yourself honestly during these full moon times, and take that energy and do something. Do something and discover something. So in Sagittarius again, we are asked to strive, to find that goal, that purpose, and that plan of the core within us. Not the outer shell, but the core within us, and strive to bring that out in a greater expanded consciousness. Now, an expansion of consciousness is the sense of value within you changes, and it must change. What you thought was important 10 years ago is no longer important, nor should it be. But there are times when that one value that you held as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, and you hold now, is the same. It still means something to you. And that's beautiful when you find that jewel that is always the jewel in your life, that special something in your life that is eternal. Hold on to that, because that is the definition, or part of the definition, of you as a core, as a soul. Okay? You also create different relationships with different levels of consciousness. Sure, when we grow and we expand our consciousness, the way we look at material life changes, and so it should. And when we grow a little bit more, the way we look at our emotional life changes, as it should. And then we go to the next level, which is the third initiation, and the way we relate and find valuable in our mental life is no longer the same. It changes. Our opinions, our ideals, our visions change, and they should. So, the first initiation, this is important to understand, means you realize that you are not the body and you are not working for the body, that there is something else to life. Here when Torkom is saying body, he also means material things. The material life no longer dominates your decisions, your life, your day-to-day activities. That includes everything in the material world. Of course you enjoy it, you still eat, you still sleep, you still enjoy life, but it doesn't drive everything that you do. That is called the first initiation. And it's very important. You see, we can't have somebody tell us we are initiated and we're still addictive and compulsive and obsessive over material things. The two don't go together. Okay, so that's the first initiation. And if you really want to understand what initiation is in its complete complexity, there are beautiful books, and one of them is Torkom's book, Initiation, The Path of Living Service. I recommend that book, and it's really, really beautiful. Now, what's the second initiation? Look at that in the middle of page 443. So read with me. The second initiation is a purification of your emotions. Do you know that your emotions probably drive your life? If you're not physically oriented in 100% of your life, then the emotions could be the driving force of your life. And to purify the emotions so that they are full of joy, full of peace, full of love and forgiveness toward others, you are going to see that you are elevating yourself above that, what is called the stormy sea. In the book, The Science of Becoming Oneself, Torkom writes that it is the stormy sea that takes us from one side of the ocean to the other and doesn't let up until we rise above it. So in working for the second initiation, there are 5 things to purify from your nature. And this is what it means, second initiation. And we have not accomplished second initiation unless what? We are free of fear. Okay? Hatred, anger, jealousy, and greed. By looking at these 5 things, we can see that humanity collectively has not achieved even the second initiation. Humanity in general, and of course we as individuals are not full of these, but sometimes a little thread of one of these comes into our lives, doesn't it? A little thread. So look, 100% free of fear and hatred and anger, jealousy and greed. So we can look at collective humanity and the problems it is undergoing now, all of us, and then look at our own life and see how we can clear up the last vestiges of these 5 vices, as they are called, of the emotional body, and achieve the purity of the emotions so that we can rise above the stormy seas of life. These 5 vipers must be conquered so that you can conquer your personality and ride on a white horse. So a rider on a white horse is a symbol of Sagittarius. This is the goal of the Aquarian age. This is the goal for us, to rise above the sea of the emotions. Let's go to the next paragraph, which is really beautiful. Every human being must ride consciously and direct his personality to the goal that he wants to achieve. Many of us think that we are really controlling our bodies, but the reverse is true. Isn't that true? Our bodies are totally controlling us. We think we are controlling our emotions, but the emotions are controlling us. We think that we are controlling our mind and thinking the things we want to think, but we are kidding ourselves. So look at the deeper implication of this statement. When we are addicted to material things in our bodies, then everything that is material in life will have power over us. When we are addicted to these 5 vipers, fear, hatred, anger, fear, jealousy, and greed, then every expression of these 5 vipers will have a hold over our emotions and will control us emotionally. The same with the mind. If we have mental vipers, any expression of that in the world at large will have control over us as well. This has deep implications for us and a deep responsibility that we as disciples and students of the ageless wisdom, aspirants, whatever level we are, that we try to clean up and purify our life from these vipers so that we are not encumbered by the false values of the world around us, that we can actually cultivate in our personal life and the life around us in our groups and families the higher values. Cultivate those values so that the other toxic parts of life do not control us. Okay. Go to the bottom of page 443. At the time of Sagittarius, your sleeping soul gets a strong kick and awakens your core and helps you see these things. So when you feel this month bothered, questioning your values, consider it a successful full moon. Okay? We should be bothered. We should get a kick. We should be awakened. We should have that moment of perhaps grief of what's going on in our life. Are we living a life with direction and purpose, or just going helter-skelter in every direction, reacting to everything around us? This is very, very important, because the disturbances in life around us will disturb our peace and tranquility and joy if we do not take steps to purify these toxins out of our life. How are we going to do that? Look at the next page, page 444, the top full paragraph. The last line is, your goal is known and achieved only through purification and meditation. Take this time of the year to do these 2 things. Maybe the 1 day of the full moon, or again, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, how many days that you want. Focus on purifying your physical, emotional, and mental body. Live that 1 day, or those 7 days, or those 3 days, or those 5 days in purity. See how you can accomplish that and how much you can accomplish that. Purification is so important, and it is a beautiful goal that you can set for yourself. Now, the important thing with purification is this. You can set your goal, but don't make it so large that when you will feel like you're a failure if you don't do it 100%. We will do this in meditation and write this down for yourself. What is my goal in purification this month, next year? Make it one attainable item that you will feel triumphant in when you accomplish it. Okay, that's one. The second one is meditation. When Torkom talks about meditation, he is not talking about simple mindfulness. Mindfulness is not so simple, as we all know. It takes a lot of work to just learn how to focus on higher things. But this kind of meditation takes mindfulness and focus to the next point. It means after you have relaxed and you are able to be mindful and focused, you meditate, which means you think seriously and critically about a seed thought that will help you understand life better. Okay? So you are looking at something in a big and broadened way, step by step, trying to understand it. For example, you can say, I'm going to meditate on freedom or on striving. What does it mean? And you take it step by step by step. We will do an exercise at the end of this chapter, and you will see this kind of meditation will train your mind better than any other meditation that you can do. It requires focus and dedication. If you can give yourself 1 to 5 minutes a day for 1 month and 2 months, your challenges in meditation will start slowly dissipating, and you will have control and focus and discipline in your life. It is so important and beautiful. If you want to know more about meditation, look at the courses that we offer online, and you can learn a step-by-step scientific meditation. So look at the bottom of page 444, and let's summarize purification and meditation. Purification is physical, emotional, mental, all the values and virtues that you have. Purification means you put them into action. Okay, it's not just in your mind, you put them into action. Meditation is critical and serious thinking about a subject, about an idea that will help you understand the greater life. Okay, those are just simple definitions that you can think about. Now let's go to page 445. I'd like to read for you this beautiful last paragraph as a keynote that I just absolutely love. And by the way, when you read these beautiful chapters in Wisdom of the Zodiac, and I hope you are getting these books and reading them, read the whole thing through once, then choose 1 or 2 seed thoughts or keynotes that you would like to work on this year, and just focus on that until the next month comes around. And put yourself a goal in front of you. Say, I want to do this and this and this, and make it measured and simple and easy to achieve. Don't set goals in front of yourself that are too difficult, that will take too much change in your life, that you will feel a failure when you don't do it. Okay, that's the secret of setting goals. Tiny steps, baby steps, slow and easy. Okay, page 445, bottom of the page. As you penetrate into your own self, that's the higher self, your soul, the spirit in you, your life will become a fragrance. Now look what that means. A fragrance is a beautiful, true smell that wafts through the air, and you don't have to push it out. It just goes. You are going to become a fragrance that brings upliftment to everyone around you. When you walk into a room, when you say a word, when you send a thought, when you do anything, you are a fragrance, a blessing. Now look what that means. When you smell something beautiful, you go, ah, right? So imagine if that's what you are for life. That when people see you, they'll say, oh, ah, isn't that beautiful? Now let's see the second sentence. You will be disciplined. Disciplined in your speech, in the way you behave every day, in the way you feel. Disciplined means not dictatorial. Discipline in ageless wisdom means you are under the command of your soul. Your soul is in command. That is leading your life. You are integrated. You are genuine. You are real. You will be a person of principle. Isn't that beautiful? A person of principle. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. When you say you believe in something, you stay with that belief. Next one, you will be orderly and harmonious. Wow, this is describing a beautiful person, and that's you, and that's me. That's all of us when we pay attention to striving toward a greater goal of expanding and releasing our core. You will control every action that you make physically, emotionally, and mentally. Nothing is helter-skelter. Nothing is under the command of something else or some obsessive-compulsive thought. You are in charge. Your environment will change. Of course it will. Your relationship will change with your spouse, with your children, with your group, with the workforce, people you work with, your coworkers. Your environment will completely change in your thought environment, in your feeling environment. Okay, so environment means your physical, emotional environment and mental environment. Take it up also your spiritual environment. What is your environment of spirit? Okay, your house will change. Certainly, your clothing will change. Your relationships will change. You will be a changed person. And change doesn't mean the same for everyone. You have to determine what change means to you. Okay? So let us now do meditation. It is on pages 445 to 446. We will start with relaxation and mindfulness. We will say the Great Invocation. We will sound silent or out loud 3 ohms, and then I will lead us through the seed thought meditation, which is the goal in life. I will ask questions, have you answer them, and when we're done with this meditation, this video, take a few minutes to quietly jot down your ideas in your journal. Okay, and after that we will say more radiant and sound 3 more ohms. Okay, so sit up straight and put a nice smile on your face. This is really important. And focus and let everything outside, leave everything outside. Don't be bothered with anything right now. Try to link yourself with the souls of every being in this world, human beings, this higher worldly souls. Just put yourself in that beautiful state. Together, let us say the Great Invocation with real focus. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Now say 3 ohms loud or quiet, keeping your focus. Now follow my prompts. The first question is, what is the goal of my life and how can I achieve it? Set a simple goal first physically. Then emotional goal. Then a mental goal. And let's take it to the next step, a spiritual goal for this year. Now keep those in your mind. And the next question is, what is your most immediate goal? try to define that, the most immediate and most important right now. Third question, think of a 5-year goal. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? That would be 5 years into the future. Think of a 10-year goal. It's beautiful to think of 10 years. The next question is, how do I achieve my goals? Think of 3 items that will help you achieve these goals, whatever they are for your life. Think how you are going to create mental space when you are no longer constantly bothered by the old patterns that no longer matter, that you are going to purify yourself from those, and you will have mental space, mental energy to devote toward your future. See how that can be accomplished. As we say more radiant, visualize what these words mean. More radiant than the sun, purer than the snow, subtler than the ether, is the self, the spirit within my heart. I am that self. That self am I. Let's say 3 ohms. So this is the basic meditation for Sagittarius, full moon for this year. And whenever during the full moon period you want to come back and do this meditation, do it again and again during this period, so that you can define what are your goals, your immediate goals, your long-term goals, and what are the steps that you can take right now toward achieving those goals. It's really important that we take that energy that is in our sail every month. And this particular Sagittarius moves us along. It is a full moon of goal setting, purpose and plan, and being able to let go of the old patterns that are no longer necessary. And as I think about this, how much time and mental energy we give, mental space we give to the things that no longer matter, that are truly no longer valuable for us. It is so freeing for us to let those things go and give more space to the things that really matter. So I wish for you a beautiful journey of striving toward your highest goals, and have a beautiful, beautiful Sagittarius. Thank you for being with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.